Alright, here's me here doing a video on my Razor E200 scooter here. So what I'm going to be doing is upgrading my my motor. I bought a new motor off of eBay, so I got this for about $45 from an eBay seller. They're fairly common, they're not too hard to find. So this is the it's a model Zulu Yankee 1016. It's also very similar to the MY1016. That's like the kind of model number. That's the model that's on these scooters, is the MY1016. Okay, so this is a 24 volt DC. Its rated speed is 2,750 RPM, and it has a 350 watt output with a current of 18.7 ampere hours. So there you go. That's the specs. So the E200 has about like a 200 or 250 watt motor, so this is about 100 watts more powerful. So it's going to give me more power, more torque, more horsepower, more torque. Will it give me more speed? Yeah, probably. It'll probably be able to maintain its speed much better. I'm 175 pounds, so it has some trouble getting me going. Yeah, but this, this scooter is for like children and adults, so it should be fine. I think it's rated up to like a 200 something pound rider or something. So this is what it comes with. So like I said, it was $45. I actually got it on sale for 10% off with the coupon. It comes with a connector like this, and it's not so it's just got the pins out here. I guess if I wanted to make this better, I could solder those. I could solder the wires onto the thing. That's which I might do. I don't know, but it may make it hard to put it into this guy here. So the reason they do that is because a certain whatever application you're putting it on, you may want to reverse the motor. And I can tell you now that the wires are backwards. The wires are totally different color than what's on the scooter. I think the scooter has like a blue and a brown wire or something, so we won't know what it is. We might have to actually install it first, and then maybe we can just plug the pins in and then figure out which way it goes. Because you could run it either way. You can reverse it. I had that problem with that controller. Alright, so this is my E200 scooter. The mods I have on it right now is it has a Curry Schwinn half throttle with the indicator light, voltage indicator, and it has a ZY1016 LB27 250 watt controller on it, so you can use this variable throttle control. And yeah, so I actually ordered a 350 watt version of the ZY1016 controller, so I have not got it. It's coming from China, so it's going to take a while to get here, but I figured let's just install the motor first. It's okay to install a less powerful controller with a more powerful motor. You just won't get the full power out of it, Alright, so the first thing we got to do is we got to take the deck off. This shouldn't be too hard to do. This task shouldn't be very hard. So I'm gonna go take the. I'll speed this up within the video. But basically, you got two Allen head bolts here, 4 screws that gotta come out, and then there's 2 screws here with a nut at the end underneath that are 8 millimeters. And this is a 4 millimeter Allen wrench. Okay, got all the screws out. Deck comes right off. And then what we're trying to get to is right here. So I can tell you now, this motor is much bigger than that one. I don't even know if it's going to fit in there. That's a good question. It looks like it's roughly the same size, but it's whatchamacallit, it's much wider. Well, I don't know if that's going to fit, man. Yeah, you may have to modify it a little bit. We'll see. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is unplug the motor. It's right here. So you can see the wires are totally different. One is blue and one is brown on this one. So I don't really know what we're going to get. Just going to have to just do trial and error, I guess. Okay, so and I think we gotta take this bar off here so we can, I guess we got to move the batteries a little bit. Okay, I'm kind of taking one of the batteries out, and so the next thing to do would be to take the wire out. There's a grommet here. I'm not really sure how. The other one had a little window that you could take out right here. This one doesn't have that. Oh, it's interesting. Anyway, the brake and this guy go through it. What we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take the pins off of this to get it out of there. I don't think it'll go through with this connector on there. So okay, so next thing to do is we're gonna move the pins from this. We just gotta remember that if I ever want to install this again, that the blue is the one that goes up and down, and then the brown goes left and right. If you look at the connector like this. So there's a little tab in there that you can finagle, and then it should come out. Now we gotta fish it out of the scooter somehow. Not a whole lot of room to work with. There we go. Okay, so the next thing to do would be to take the motor mounts off. Okay, let's see if we can get this out. All I need to do is kind of just remove the chain a little bit. This mine has an automatic chain tensioner, so I'm going to press down on it to loosen the chain a bit, and then take the chain off. Okay, so there it is. And I guess you can turn it sideways. It comes right out. There you go. Boys, the bottom all scratched up pretty bad. I can't even read the sticker on it anymore. But let's take a comparison of the two side by side, so you can see the other motor is much smaller. It's much shorter, much more compact. Well, this one is not. Also, the difference, the mounts are a little bit different. This one is just a hole; it goes straight through, whereas this one has a threaded screw here. So we may need to just drill that open. I guess this goes in there. Yeah, this actually screws in there, I think. So, yeah. Okay, so hopefully this will fit in there. We'll see. And you can see what the spindles look like. It's pretty much the same motor, except this one is longer. The cylindrical part is a little longer. So the only issue I can see is that the kickstand is in the way. So hopefully that won't be an issue. Okay, so one drawback I see to this is that, yeah, the other motor is bigger, so that would mean it's heavier. So let's go, while we got them both out, let's go compare the weights. So the stock motor is about 3 pounds, 11.2 ounces, where the new motor is 5 pounds, 7.6 ounces. So it adds like almost like 2 pounds almost. So that's another drawback. It makes your scooter heavier. It's going to make your scooter harder to carry, for one thing, but it'll make it faster. Alright, so let's see if we can get it. I'll try to get this up in there somehow. So it's got to go like this somehow. So go up in there. So we're going to kind of turn it sideways like we did before. Okay, so he's Mega has put his thinking cap on. So alright, so this guy does not fit in here. You can't put the tab, you can't put the bracket on top of this. I think it has to go from the bottom. That would mean we'd have to we'd have to drill out the holes. So the big issue is that the motor is too long. It hits the kickstand mount here, so we might have to grind that a little bit, and then maybe just like cut the edge off. Because other than that, it should fit. We might be able to grind the motor case a little bit. I don't know. But yeah, that's the big thing that's hitting it, and then the brake. There's a little where the brake mounts to the frame right here is hitting it. I took the bolt out though, so it's kind of not there anymore. I might try to relocate it somewhere, like move it out a little bit, so we can get some more clearance. If we could move the whole motor and everything, if we could move the motor this way a little bit, we'd have plenty of space. But then the chain wouldn't be aligned anymore. So, and then we would have to drill new holes too. So I think no matter what, we'd have to drill new holes. So anyway, but the chain and everything, they fit, and the sprocket is the same and everything, so that's good. Let's just get this chain out of the way first. See, I can get one of them out, and I can't get the other one. So yeah, I think we might be able to do it. We might be able to do it without modifying much. We might be able to move it this way some. But we have to make one thing we have to make sure is that the chain is straight. You want the chain to be straight with the motor. All right. Anyway, I think I'm gonna call that it for tonight. I'll let you know what I figure out later. Okay, so Hazy Mega has been brainstorming, and so what I've decided to do is mount the motor more this way, so it would clear all that stuff, and then we don't have to modify any of that stuff. What we might have to do is move the sprocket inward more, maybe like almost to where it's almost touching the base of the motor, and then we can drill holes. What we'll do is we'll drill holes in the frame farther this way, and then it'll move the motor this way, and then because I lined them up too. I lined the motors up. So if you line the motors up like this, you look down them. Oh, they actually look like they're the same. Yeah, they're like the same. They're like the same length actually, almost. I thought the other one. Is almost looks a little closer, but they look like they're about the same. So anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the sprocket as far inward as we can. Well, so that means I have to kind of take this apart. I'm gonna have to take this locking nut out. Boy, I hope this isn't a reverse thread or anything. It is a reverse thread. Yeah, it's a reverse thread. Yep, it's a reverse thread. So it doesn't come apart. So yeah, anyway, we're going to get this nut out of here, pull the sprocket out, and then I think there's a spacer right here on the shaft that gives you the length here. And then all we got to do is like probably cut that in like half and then push that sprocket in. Hopefully there's enough threads in there to do that too. If not, we may have to make another spacer for the other side too. So this is a lot more work than I bargained for. Alright, let's make it here. So continuing on this Razor scooter motor upgrade. So here I got another motor. This is another ZY1016. It's a Z3, 24 volts, 350 watts. Very similar to this one. I don't know this one. This one's in English. That one's in Chinese. I got this one from an American seller, so I guess maybe this is like an exported. It's a U.S. branded motor. I mean, it's the same one. You can tell if you look. The casings are the same and everything. It's roughly the same motor, except this one has a gearbox. So this is for like a bicycle. But I can tell, you can definitely tell this one's got way more power than this one, because when I try to move the shaft, it's very difficult. The magnets are very strong in it. Now this one, so easy to turn. So yeah. Boy, the chain looks a little bigger on this one. The sprocket looks a little bigger. Maybe this one's worn out. I don't know. I think this is a different pitch or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Yeah, this is 11. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 10 tooth. Well, this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tooth. Okay, so this is an 11 tooth versus the 10 tooth. So this is actually going to give us more top speed. So that's good. We definitely want to use this one. That will get us our extra, like maybe 5 miles per hour, hopefully. Okay, so I just verified that. I just stuck the chain on it and I moved the sprocket around a couple times, and it looks like it works properly. It's the same type of sprocket, same pitch. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go mount the motor. We'll mount the motor in a location where it doesn't interfere with anything on the scooter, and then we'll worry about modifying that spacer because it just gets in the way of everything. So we're thinking, and we're going to mount it underneath. We're not going to mount it on top like the other one. I think that's the way this one wants to be mounted. But yeah, you can see it hits the brake line here, so we definitely want it to be like around here. You want it to be close to the brake line, but I mean it's definitely not going to interfere with the kickstand right there on the upper right. So somewhere like around here is okay. So we want to get it as close as we can to the brake thing, but not, we still want to mount it. So I think right here is good, and then I think, oh boy, maybe we can still move this brake thing though. Let's see if we can modify this so it's closer. Let's put the let's move the this bracket on the other side of the spacer. I think there's a little spacer here that gives it support. Okay, so I went and modified the braking system slightly. So what's happened here is, like I mentioned earlier, I moved this plate here, the plate that holds the line. I moved it to the other side of the spacer here. Before, this spacer used to be on the other side, and this used to be closer to here. So what that did is, like, it made it harder for the so you can see that the spring here is it's going this way, and then it's going that way. So like it kind of kinked it up a little bit. So that is not good. You want it to be straight. So what I did is I took the see this bolt here? The wire goes through this bolt. There's a little hole here. So what I did is I unbolted it. It was on this side before. I unbolted it with the 10 millimeter here, I have to use a wrench actually. It was on there super tight. And then I flipped it around, basically. I didn't even take the wire out of the hole. I took it out and I flipped it around and I put it in there, and then I tightened it. That does make it so it's closer to your wheel, but it's still clear, so it should be fine. And it still works, so that gives it enough, just enough. It moves it to the side just enough, like maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, so the brake would still work. So I'm going to squeeze the brake lever here. That's what's going on right there. I could probably tighten it up a little bit more, but yeah, it's a really crooked pull is what's going on there. It's definitely not as good at braking as it was before, but it's still working. So, and then that gives us more clearance. If you remember before, this used to be way out here, so it moved about a good like an inch, or not an inch, maybe like half an inch or something. So now that gives us plenty of room to put this guy in. We still need to drill new holes for it, and that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about drilling the holes crooked. Yeah, so it's gonna go something like that, and then we probably still have to modify. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get as close as we can, as far out as possible, but I think that the chain is still, we'll still have to move this in like halfway at least, you know. But let's mount it first, and we'll worry about modifying this later, because yeah, it would be hard to get the measurements and stuff that we need to cut. I don't think it has to be all the way in there, but we got to get it most of the way. So the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to go mount the motor. So I think it would be best to turn it around, but I don't want the batteries and stuff falling out. So we could put the bar back in. That's what we could do. We could put the bar back in so the batteries don't fall out. Stick the batteries back in there. There's no reason to have it out here anymore, because all we need to do is remove the batteries out so we can get the wire for the motor out, because it's hiding back there. I can't believe they didn't have a little thing, a little door to take it out easily. It's just a grommet. Yeah, it's kind of suck. Oh well. Alright, okay, so if I have the motor all the way out, all I have to do is slot these holes. Now, that would require a little more work. What I'm thinking of doing is just drilling another set of holes, not that much, maybe like 2 or 3 millimeters below these ones, and I think it should fit, because I think these holes, they line up to that. Yeah, they do. The holes do line up. This would actually bolt in if it could actually fit in there, but the other motor is like, it's much slimmer, so it has to go this way more. So another thing is actually I think that would work. Before there was a plate sticking out on the top here, and there won't be a plate anymore, so I think it'll be okay. Because it has to be flush. It has to be flush on top, because the deck has to go on top of it. If we put the plate underneath, like what we're going to do with this one, we only need to we wouldn't have to worry about it. It would actually, the screws would be lower a little bit, so already. So I could probably put one of those little things that make it flat. I'm not sure, but I think it'll be fun. I'll try it. So okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to just slot this. We're going to slot it south. That way we can adjust the motor any way we want for whatever clearance we want, and then we just snug it down when we got it where we want. And there's 4 bolts holding it. I don't think it'll, you know, and plus the deck is on top of it. It's probably going to put pressure on the screws, and they won't. I don't think they'll back out. But we can put like some like Loctite on it, just in case. So looks like we're doing okay. So I'm gonna go just drill another hole directly south of this. Every one of these, and that way the bolt patterns will be the same. All right. Okay, so I don't know what kind of steel they use on this thing, but this thing is built like a freaking tank. So I managed to drill 2 holes here. I started with the step bit here, and then a 1564, which I just broke. because I couldn't get a hole drilled straight enough. So you can see this one's a little crooked. What I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to get a grinder and then just clean that up a bit. And I think these ones will be okay. Let's go get the screw. Okay, yeah, the screw does go in. Ooh, it's really tight though. That one goes in. I need to ream that one or something. I think these two are okay. They look good. Yeah, it was. I would either start drilling and it would start on the right a little bit or the left a little bit, and then I tried to angle it a little bit to get it straight. Yeah, it was real tough. Yeah, and the holes have to be bigger than the other holes. I just realized that. Since they're not threading it in, it's just going to go straight through. So you may need to use a different screw too. I'm not sure. But, all right. So I'm going to finish cleaning up this one. I think we're just going to slot this one also. These two actually just turn into holes, so I may those look okay. I may let's actually put the motor in right now and see if it kind of fits. Oops, wrong way. And it does fit. Yeah, looks good. I may have to slot it. I know I may have to slot it a little bit, but it looks okay. The other one, I don't know what the deal with the other one is. It's pretty close though. Yeah. So I just need to finish drilling those two on the right, and then we should be good. Yeah. Okay, right. Here's my hair. I'm gonna call it a day. I gotta go to work, but so this is what I got done so far. I was able to get one bolt in, so this is gonna require a lot more grinding. So this one, I put this one in, and then like that one was like off a little bit. This one is like a little bit too far forward. So what I decided to do is I'm gonna grind this one lower so it clears. Yeah, so this will be down a little bit lower, and then these ones have to be slotted a lot more. But once I get these two in, then we're pretty much aligned, you know. Right now, this is pretty much how it's going to sit in there, and it looks good. Boy, does it stick out a lot from the bottom. Yeah. I think before we keep on doing this, let's see how much ground clearance. Okay, so there's our ground clearance. I think it's almost the same as before. Not a lot. We got about an inch or two of ground clearance, so that's good. It's not touching the ground. That's a good thing. So that's pretty much how it's going to go in there, but I've only got one bolt in there. This one needs to come down more, so I need to grind that one out. And then these two need to come down a whole lot more, as you can see. They're just barely peeking out there. So yeah, so now it's just a grinding game. I didn't want to do all this grinding, but the good thing about using the drill bit is like it kind of took some of the work out, some of the grinding work out. So so I'm going to leave this one as is. This one looks good. The clearance looks good. It's perfect. It's really close to that kickstand thing, and the brake is almost touching too. Yeah, almost. Like you can like stick a couple pieces of paper in there, you know. But it looks good. It looks real good. So. And then we'll have to modify the sprocket. So that's where I'm going to stop today, and then I'll pick it up again tomorrow. All right. But yeah, I wanted to mention that, like, boy, is that the steel they use on this thing really hard. It is hard to drill on. But yeah, my bits were kind of dull too, so it kind of sucks that I broke that drill bit. I don't have any more replacements for it. That was the replacement one already. So yeah. Time to go buy more drill bits. Alright, also did I mention that it makes a big mess? Look at all that metal shavings and stuff. Okay, so anyway, 1 of 4.